Good evening, Park Lane friends. My name is Judith. I'm from Alfred, Ontario. I have been asked to prepare a short video to show you how to remove links from your watches or your bracelets. I came across this problem at some point when I sold one of the bracelets, and I tried to obtain the information on how to remove the links because my father was a jeweler, and I know that the links are removable, and it seemed to me very impossible that nobody had an answer. So I took it upon myself to go and make a quick visit to my father. And even though he suffers from Alzheimer's, at sometimes he has good moments, he was able to remember how to remove the links from the watches. So with simple tools that you have lying around the house, I will show you how to remove the links. So you will need, very simply, a pair of long nose pliers. Mine are on a 45-degree angle. You can use the straight one, doesn't matter so long as there's a flat surface. And you will also need a hammer, big or small, doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. I have all kinds, but this is the one that I keep in my kitchen. And all you single ladies out there should have a hammer. If you don't like the long nose, you can always use a pair of electrical pliers, which I also have. Why? Because it has a flat surface and you're going to require that as well. And those that are afraid when it's time to put back the links of using a hammer and damaging your watches, you can use the back end of a rubber screwdriver that you have in your toolbox, or go borrow it from your neighbor, whichever it is. You will also require a towel. And last but not least, the most important thing will be a plastic thumbtack, like this. Some of you will say, yeah, but there are kids and I can bring it to the jeweler. Sure, go ahead, go spend the money, bring it to the jewelry. Or it's as easy as pie. It's very doable by yourself. You can also buy these little kits for your glasses that you can, I don't know if everybody has those, but dollar stores has them. They are in a little case. There are many little very, very tiny screwdrivers inside for the screws of your glasses. Those are also very good to remove the pins from the links on your watches. I prefer the thumbtack because it's short, and you will see when it's time to hold it with the watch, it's got a little grip, so I find it's easier than the longer a screwdriver. So let's start. You will need to put on your watch and decide and figure out how many links you need to remove. Links are very easy to identify. They're the ones that fold a little bit. I'm looking at mine and I see I need to remove 2 more links from this watch. Now you're not going to see my pretty face. I know it's very pretty, but I will bend over the screen so that you can see what I'm doing. All right? So, see you later. Okay. You need to put your towel on your table. You're going to say, why are we using a towel? Well, I'll explain the reason why. It's because it's a soft surface. We need to get the little pins and the links out, and if we hammer them and try to remove them on a harder surface, they won't come out. You will understand in a few minutes. Now, all of these watches, this particular watch has a stiff clip, and I want you to look closely at the first link. You will notice that the first link is full, and the remaining ones are in sets of trees. There is no need to remove the first link. In this instant, there is no need at all. You may come across a watch that you will require to remove the first link, and if you do so, the first link is always the easiest one. On both sides, you will see there's the little pin. I'm sure everybody has pushed on this to try and figure out what it does, but when you push on it, very easily everything comes out, like so. Now this particular pin Both ends go in and out. You'll say why? Well, if you examine your link, you will see there are two little holes there, and there are two little holes over here as well. And all it does is it snaps back into the place. Now we don't need it, so I'm going to put it back so that you, if you were curious to see, you just put it back inside. Put your finger on the other end because it's going to fall out. You take back your rigid piece and you enter it by the bottom part. You see how it comes out at the top. All you need to do is align the hole and the pin and push the little pin just a little bit so it goes back in, and everything snaps back into place. Now on to the most important thing, removing the links. I want you to also examine your bracelet. On one side, you will see holes that seem to have something in them which you don't see, because in this case the watch is black. The hole is deeper. If I put the little pin, I can go inside. If I turn the watch on the other side, you have the same thing. However, there is no space. The pin seems to be flush. We don't want to work on this side of the watch. We only want to work on the side of the watch where we actually have a little hole. I forget what side. I think it's this side. Okay, so like I said before, I need to remove two links. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to enter the little thumbtack inside the hole. I'm going to hold everything nice and as straight as possible. I'm going to take my hammer and I'm going to give it a few little hits. At some point you'll feel the thumbtack go inside that little hollow hole, and it'll stand like that. Why? Because the thumbtack is a little bit bigger than the hole, but it doesn't matter. All I needed was the end. I'm going to give it just a little bit more. Now I removed the thumbtack, and I want you to look on the other side. You see that little pin? Do you see it come out? This is where the long nose come in. You just grab the little piece and you take it out. Don't lose this. This is important. Put it to the side. So my watch is now open. I'm going to remove. I'm going to go on this side. Two links. I'm taking out two links, as I said. I don't need to take them one at a time. I know I'm taking two. If you had to remove four, I would suggest you'd remove two on one side, two on the other. Again, you put your thumbtack in the hole, you hit it a little bit, and bam, that pin comes out on the opposite side. Remove your thumbtack, take your pliers, your long nose, and pull. Sometimes they come out easy, sometimes they don't. I've been doing this watch a few times, so it's kind of like telling me, okay, enough. Stop taking those links apart and putting them back in. And it's probably the reason why it's not coming out, and it doesn't matter. I don't need this anymore. So, now that we've removed the two links, we need to put them back together, right? So we're gonna do the same thing. You'll note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. They all need to be aligned together like so. And now you will take back your first pin that you took out, and I want you to look at it closely, because there's one end of the pin that's larger and one that's narrower. When you insert it back, you need to start with the larger end, like so. So you align your links. I forget which link it is. Oh, over here. Okay. You put your big end the start of the hole, like so, and slowly you will hit it, and at some point it'll just go right in. Once in a while, stop and look, make sure everything is aligned. Did you see it go in? There we go. It's actually in all 6 holes right now. Now, those of you that are afraid to keep using your hammer because you don't want to damage the watch, this is where the screwdriver comes in. You just, because it's rubber, you can't damage anything, you hit it some more. If it's not going in, it's because there, it went in some more. Or you can use these pliers that you had and open them wide enough to put everything inside and slowly squeeze, and the pin goes back in. There's just a little wee, if it's not all the way in, you can always use your thumbtack, because I mean it's not that easy to do now. Well, it is easy, but it's just to align it. There we go. So this should have resolved your big watch bracelet issue. I got it all. Now, wasn't that easy? Was it that hard that you would need to go to the jewelry store and get it fixed? Or will you attempt to do it yourself next time? And if I'm not mistaken, those men's bracelet also have these little links. You can't break it. I mean, you're not hammering it to the ends of the earth. You're being gentle, little thumbtack. Hey, I just saved you 12 bucks. I hope you're happy. So bling on, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time. Enjoy your evening.